Okay, here we are trying to demonstrate quickly how to do an evaluation on Practice Perfect utilizing the web browser, which is the access designed for people who have a Mac or those who are unable to get to their computer and want to access a file through the web application. Log in the way you normally would with your user ID and password. When you log in, you'll automatically be taken to the schedule, which we do not use. So this will be blank. You click on Clients on the left side, and this will give you your list of clients. You select the clients the same as you would in the regular program. When you select the client, now you have the same icons that you have in the regular program. This is your Documents section, also known as Activity by Documents. This is all documents other than a SOAP note, which they also call a progress note. So your progress reports, your evaluations, plan of care extensions, things of that nature would all be in the Documents section. This here is your progress notes or SOAP notes. That's the only thing that will be located in this section. The pencil here means to edit. So if you have something selected that can be edited, this would not be grayed out, and you could select that. Anytime you want to get back to the client screen, you can click on Clients here, and it'll bring you back to the screen from no matter where you are in the program. So if this is my patient, test patient, and I want to do an evaluation, I select the patient, click on Documents. Now I need to create a document. There are no documents here. I want to add a document, and I would like a Medcare evaluation form. Automatically opens to the evaluation form. Here's the date, so I want to change it to the date of the evaluation. So let's say that we actually did this on Monday the 2nd. Don't be distracted by the fact that it starts on Monday here. Sometimes that's confusing for people. This is your signature spot, just like it would be on the computer program. This is incomplete, complete unsigned, or complete signed. You'll see I'm the provider here. I am also the referring physician. The ICD-9/ICD-10 codes, in this case they're ICD-10, are already in the system. They're there because they've been added through the system. Unfortunately, there is no way to add the diagnosis codes through the web access. So you have to have access to the regular program or contact me and I can add the codes for you. This is the same layout as the paper format, basically, and as the format on Practice Perfect, the actual program. Diagnosis, description, treatment, diagnosis. You fill out all of the information as you normally would, taking special care to the areas with the stars. You go through the evaluation, fill out all of the pertinent information. Don't fill out things that are not pertinent. Not everything will apply to you. These are drop-down menus when you see things like that. Range of motion. If you don't fill out a section, it will not show up when it's printed. Some people prefer a narrative format, so usually anywhere where there are big drop-down boxes, there'll be a narrative section discussing the same thing if you prefer that. Additional comments and notes in case you want to add anything. Your assessment, where you sum up everything that's going on, and then the prognosis. This is a drop-down. As you can see, anything with a little arrow like that is a drop-down. You check off these boxes, whatever the problem list is. Here's your functional limitation reporting, which is the same as the handout, the template sheet of paper that you used to use. Basically, you select your category, your current impairment level. For example, let's say it's walking and moving around. Current impairment level is 80 to 99, and my goal is maybe 40 to 59. And this is not applicable because this is not discharge. And then I need the clinical reasoning. So if I use, let's say, the Tinetti gait and balance score of, let's say it was a 10 out of 26 or something like that. Whatever method you use, or if there's something else like significant dementia or something you want to comment, you put it in this box. This is your clinical reasoning. Here's your plan of care. For me, it would be physical therapy up to 3 times per week for 12 weeks. There you go. Or maybe it's going to be 2 times a week, or maybe it's 10 weeks, or whatever. Here you check off whatever you think you might do in terms of treatment. Something that's not a checkoff, you can just add in this box. And here's your PQRS reporting. They're all separated by these headings here, blue or green or whatever that is there, you can go through and check off just like you would on the paper, one that applies, and then no follow plan is required. Now, if you check on something that says documented below, or any of these sections that don't have the G code, see this is G8417, below it says advise patient to speak to MD regarding findings. Any that do not start with the G code mean they go with the one above. So if this was the one I chose, it says the follow-up plan is documented below. I either need to make this my follow-up plan and check it, or my follow-up plan is written here. So if I maybe recommended the patient see a nutritionist, I would write that in this box. Just so you see they're not indented. I was unable to create that on the template here. As we go down, anytime you see this divider, it's the next PQRS measurement tool. Here is the next tool. For PTs, you'll do the first 6. Here's your drop downs for your yes and no questions about fall risk. You go through this all the way down to here. This is the 6th measure. Now you'll notice it becomes OT only measure. The last 3 measures are for OTs only. You can fill those out. After you're done with the evaluation, you need to write your goals. The goals are done in the bullseye. The bullseye, which is the incident goal, as you can see. From the evaluation, you click on that, and it opens up this screen. Do not worry about the date listed here. Oftentimes, it will be a day before or after the date of your evaluation. It's a glitch in the program, which they are addressing. However, it does not show up that way in your signed document. So you don't need to be concerned. In order to create a goal, you press on the plus sign or the add. It gives you this blank line here, and this is a list of prefabricated goals. You can go through this list. They're categorized. This is ADL goal 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's balance and gait goals, usually related to the Tinetti balance and gait assessment, Berg balance, gaits, caregiver, etc. Or if you like to have your own goal, you just click on this box and you can type whatever your goal is. This you leave blank. The only thing you need to include is whether or not it's a long-term or a short-term. Long-term is required by Medicare, so we always choose long-term. And then we go. Some people like to put the date that the goal began. It's not really necessary because it's automatically assumed it's from the date of the evaluation. If you wanted to add another goal and you wanted to choose one, let's say I want a single limb stance goal. How about this? Patient to improve single limb stance to 30 seconds to allow patient to return to independent lower extremity dressing in the standing position. This is a long-term goal. And then I say save. These goals are now a part of the evaluation. They may not show up immediately in the evaluation, but to refresh it, I like to hit save, although this program does auto-save. I hit the Documents button. It brings me back to my evaluation. If I click on this again and say Edit, I can now go into the evaluation, and the goals should be there listed now. So we'll scroll down as we go through. Oh, and there's our goals. Goals which are required. Here's the first one and the second one. They're not met yet, which is good, and they're long-term. Once I'm done with that, I can go back to my list. Here it is. If I was complete, I would be able to sign it. Now I want to write my progress note. To write the progress note, I click on the little blue folder. It brings me to this patient's list of progress notes. Apparently I have one already started in here. We can just ignore that. If I want to create a progress note, I go to the plus sign, add new progress note. Let's make it for the same day we made the evaluation, which was 5/2, I believe. I will say continue. And then it brings me to a typical SOAP note. Very self-explanatory. Here's some editing tools if you wanted them. Status, this is where you would sign it. Incomplete, complete unsigned, or complete signed. What I want you to see is this box over here. Although we have no other notes written yet. If you write a note, the next time you open a new note, it should automatically copy the text from this note into the next note, and then you can change whatever needs to be changed. The other thing this program does is in this little spot here, see it says recent progress notes. This will store your last 10 to 15 progress notes, each section. So if I'm in the subjective and I want the subjective from a week ago, I can click on here and this would drop down my last several notes. There are none there now because we haven't written any notes yet. I can choose the one I want. Then I can go to the objective. Maybe I like a treatment. I did the same treatment I did, let's say, 2 weeks ago. I click in the objective box. I would highlight this text to get rid of it. I would click here, choose the treatment I want to copy, and then adjust whatever's necessary. And you can do that for each portion. When you're done with the note, you want to enter the billing and the time spent, which is a Medicare requirement. So we click on the hand. The hand means new treatment, which means billing or CPT codes. We click on this here. It brings up this list. Here are your diagnosis codes. We want to add a fee code. This is the drop-down list. Unfortunately, you'd have to know these offhand or make a list and make sure you choose OT or PT depending on your discipline. So Therex is 97110 PT, but I know I did an eval this day as well. That's 97001. So I would click that code there. It automatically puts in 1 unit, 15-minute duration. If I spent 20 minutes doing evaluation measures, I would type 20 there, and then I'll say, and then I need to check off these boxes. It's a little annoying. You don't have to do this in the regular program. It does it automatically once you do it the first time. In the web access, you have to actually check off the codes each and every time. Now I'll click on the next fee code, which will be Therex. You'll notice it goes to 1 unit. Maybe I did 2 units of Therex. And then I would, of course, need the corresponding time. Maybe it's 28 minutes. Then I go down here and I check off the codes again. Then I add another code. Maybe I did manual therapy, which is 97140 PT. And I'll leave that as 15 minutes. I'll check off my boxes, making sure that my units and my time correlate, because physical therapy evaluation is an untimed code. Even if I put 30 minutes here, this would stay as 1. But my total time is here. 28 minutes is sufficient for 2. 15, I say save. Now my billing is entered, and when I want to sign the note, I go to here and I change the status to complete signed. When we're all done, you can go back to your client list like this. When you want to go back to the client, you select them. If I want to look at my notes, I go here. Here's my new note. If I want to look at my evaluation, I click here. Here's my evaluation. If I want to view it, I click Edit. And here it is. And I can take a look this way. Unfortunately, there is no way through the web access to view what it would look like printed. If you had the actual program installed on your computer, you could do a print preview and see how it would look on paper. It does help people sometimes to review the evaluation and know how it looks. Everything's done. When you want to sign off, you just press log out, and we're done.